Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so I guess let the meltdown begin, right? It's January 21st as I'm recording this video, so you know what that means. Donald Trump's now officially the president, and that obviously means that everything changes. And of course that applies to policy, the presidential transition, yada yada yada, but it also means that media coverage is going to change significantly. In a sense, a strategy shift, right? I mean, instantaneously with the snap of a finger, the tone has completely shifted from a constant positive outlook being promoted by the mainstream media, in other words, nonstop copium propaganda about the Biden administration, to now a strategy of fear. Basically back to the fear-mongering tactics of old. CNN, the clown news network, has learned absolutely nothing. Right back to their old tricks of attacking this administration and attempting to stoke fear and division. It already starts. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so I got a little segment here from the clown news network, CNN. Yep, CNN, the same network that brought you a decade of unrelenting lies, gaslighting, and spin. Yeah, they're once again lecturing us about dangerous misinformation in the Trump era. While the rest of us watched the inauguration, feeling a tremendous sense of pride, hope, and optimism, yeah, CNN seems to have a different interpretation. In other words, the negative spin begins.
So we see Mark Zuckerberg on the left there with the curly hair, CEO of Meta. Tim Cook, his face is blocked, but he has the white hair, CEO of Apple. Jeff Bezos on the right there, the bald gentleman looking to his right, CEO of Amazon. The gentleman behind Mark Zuckerberg is Sundar Pichai. He's the CEO of Google. And Anderson, between those four people, plus Elon Musk from Twitter or X, those five people that I just mentioned, the four in the photograph and also Elon Musk, control so much of the information that we receive. So much is in their hands when it comes to ascertaining, monitoring, or refusing to monitor what is real, what is not real. And we're about to enter an era of deep fakes, and all sorts of misinformation.
I mean, are you freaking kidding me? CNN is out here clutching their pearls because tech CEOs, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Sundar Pichai of Google, all the usual suspects showed up to the Trump inauguration. Oh no, the horror. Every single time, right? Everything Donald Trump does, they always manage to twist into some dystopian fantasy where Donald Trump is apparently going to use these guys to control global information. It's all going to lead to a dark era. Every single time, always the same garbage. I mean, you would think this would be a positive thing, right? Finally, the tech CEOs are showing respect for the president, the process, respect for the Constitution. You know, them showing up here, if anything, is a sign of unity and a positive step forward for the country. But according to CNN, it's dark and dangerous. But most importantly, what it really is total projection. Does CNN really think that we've forgotten the last 10 years of weaponizing social media against Donald Trump? Mark Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey literally banned Donald Trump from their social media platforms after all the January 6th hysteria, and that's right after Twitter and Facebook buried the Hunter Biden laptop story, which would have probably cost Joe Biden the 2020 election had that story been reported on fairly. At least that's what a lot of the polls at the time were suggesting. Do they really think that we've already forgotten? I mean, the rhetoric here is just incredibly rich, especially coming from Anderson Cooper. I mean, you're literally the poster child for Operation Mockingbird. I mean, come on. Fake news is CNN's legacy. That's how the whole meme started in the first place.
You are fake news.
It started when Donald Trump pointed the finger directly at them and called them fake news. CNN lies about almost everything. The Hunter Biden laptop? Yeah, that was Russia disinformation.
CNN reported on Friday that U.S. authorities are seeing if those emails we just talked about are connected to an ongoing Russian disinformation effort.
January 6th? An insurrection. They admitted all the facts that didn't go with the leftist narrative. Remember the Covington kids? A bunch of lies. Biden's shady Burisma deals? Never happened. Biden's health? Oh, he's just in the greatest shape imaginable. What about Russia? Donald Trump being a Russian asset, a Russian puppet. I mean, what I'm asking myself is when's the last time CNN reported anything, honestly? And yet here we are, with them talking about an era of misinformation. We're walking into a dark era of dangerous misinformation being allowed to spread all over social media. Give me a break. We just lived through the worst era of misinformation, arguably in modern Western history, thanks to CNN, thanks to other mainstream media sources, and thanks to big social media companies that were totally co-opted and turned into partisan propaganda engines. You know, their ratings are in the gutter for a reason, because nobody believes them anymore. They've totally lost credibility. And now all they're left with is this tiny little brainwashed sliver of an audience, and clearly they're desperately trying to pander to this group and hopefully trying to convince more people to join their ridiculous little cult. It's pathetic. And most importantly, it's wrong. I mean, it's so wrong. Essentially what they're saying is if Americans are allowed to speak their minds freely, if the conversation is open and uncensored, that's dangerous. I guess presumably because they don't get to be the arbiters of truth. But that's fundamentally backwards. The truth, plain and simple, can only thrive in an environment of free speech. It's not just a philosophical idea, it's a practical reality. When speech is free, ideas compete. Arguments are tested, scrutinized, and debated, and eventually what happens is the truth always rises to the top. History has shown us this time and time again. But when governments, media conglomerates, and social media platforms start censoring stories, controlling narratives, suppressing dissent, you don't get less misinformation, you get more. And why is that? Well, because censorship doesn't eliminate falsehoods. It hides them in the shadows, while also burying truths that challenge the status quo. And the result is a system where the public can no longer distinguish between what's real and what's fabricated, essentially creating a dangerous breeding ground for mistrust and misinformation. In other words, exactly what we've seen over the last 8.5 years. But already it seems as though Democrats and their media allies are working tirelessly to bring back the censorship regime. And of course, as always, like everything else, it's always built on this narrative of fear. You have to give us control over the flow of information because it's dangerous if you don't, right? Every single time. It's always the same nonsense, always an argument of fear. And really, as I'm watching the leftist media, that's all I'm seeing.
You're watching the unraveling of our democracy. It's not about to happen. It is happening right now. Elon Musk got into this speech a commitment to go to Mars. Right? There is a dispute inside the scientific community, inside the NASA as to whether we should be going to Mars or to the moon. It makes Elon Musk an even richer man if the choice is to go to Mars. He got that. Mark Zuckerberg went down to Mar-a-Lago and got instructions to stop fact-checking on Facebook. When asked, Donald Trump said, yeah, I'm sure he made that change because he was afraid of what I might do to Facebook when I was president. Right? This is the unraveling of our democracy, because what is happening before our eyes, literally on that stage today, is that the billionaires who control huge parts of this economy are trading favors with Donald Trump behind closed doors, often where none of us can see it.
Just a bunch of unfounded claims, all meant to stoke fear and division. But like every other leftist argument, it's all built on unfounded claims. Oh, Donald Trump's working to enrich the billionaires. Prove it. Oh, the billionaires are scheming behind the scenes to make you poorer. They want to ruin your lives. Prove it. It's just a bunch of freaking nonsense. They just want to scare you so you'll give them power. But unlucky for them, no one buys their crap anymore. We're not headed towards an era of disinformation where the billionaires are going to take over and ruin our lives. No, that's what you clowns tried to do with your tech billionaire friends, but it backfired, and now here they are, basically begging for forgiveness by showing up at the Trump inauguration and finally committing to doing the right thing. Nobody believes your crap anymore. People have the right to express themselves without your approval, and I'm sorry that makes you so sad and angry. Keep crying about it in your little media echo chamber to your 5 viewers. We don't care. Freedom prevails. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.